Imagine this. Imagine laying in a hospital bed where your doctor just diagnosed you with a terminal illness saying you have 1 year left to live. And throughout this whole year, you would feel the pain got worse and worse, bringing more complications along with it as time passed. This meant having intense 24-hour care and a lot of medications. This is when the doctor's voice starts to fade out as you start considering going ahead with a procedure that would kill you. Of course, it would be painless, and it's known as physician-assisted suicide. As you start weighing in the positive and bad aspects of going ahead with it, it guides you through a decision process. But then you remember, it isn't legal in my state, which leaves you with only one option: suffering until you die. I know that this is a hard scenario to picture yourself in, and good thing that it's just that, a scenario, am I right? But there are many people out there in the world that have to go through this experience and these thoughts, as cruel as they may seem. This brings up many questions like, should terminally ill people be allowed to make their own decisions? Or should assisted suicide be legal in all states? And to these, I can answer with some facts. Starting out by saying that it is one's personal choice to decide to live or die. We are responsible for our own future, so we should be able to make decisions like this one. And you might be thinking about religion and how it prohibits us from taking our own life away. But you have to keep in mind that when you're in a situation like this, you start convincing yourself that even God would want you to go ahead with the procedure and make this decision. Because God, a loving God, He wouldn't want you suffering. On a not so deep note, economy related, did you know that the United States spent $3.5 trillion on healthcare in 2017? This equates to nearly $11,000 per person each year. And families and individuals in this situation have to pay much more than that. On the other hand, going ahead with this process would be much cheaper, since physician-assisted suicide drugs cost from $3,000 to $4,000. And when you compare that to how much is spent in intensive lifetime care, it isn't that much. One benefit that this topic has brought is that it has encouraged physicians to explore and investigate new ways to help others so that they don't have to come to this. They can start research in which they might discover something important that might save people's lives in the future. You might have ignored what I've just said because you're busy thinking about the loved ones and families of the person and how they will be the ones left to grieve after the person goes ahead with it. But it is important that they understand that it was the best thing to do and that now that person can rest on few days. And if they get to this level of understanding, this procedure will end with peace and rest, not only for the person, but for the family too. Knowing that the loved one is not suffering anymore, that they know that he or she is resting after all the pain they endured during this hard time, leaving them with less stress and anxiety. This guides us to the conclusion. After you get over the questionable aspects, it is clear that assisted suicide should be legal. It does not mean that everyone will go ahead with it, but at least it's an option. This is one specific situation, but there are many more in which people aren't able to make their own decisions because there are laws against it, such as abortion. But just like I showed you facts, it can be done with any other situation. At the end, it all goes down to letting a person guide their own lives. Thank you.